best president in the United States.
All right, that's Donald Trump with his mugshot, right? It says never surrender.
Never surrender.
Okay, that is a picture of him surrendering to Georgia authorities, though, right?
Fair. He's the best president of America.
Okay, but that literally is a picture of him surrendering, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
The shirt says never surrender?
That's right.
And that's from when he surrendered and got his mugshot taken?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Even after all these years of dealing with these clowns, it still amazes so many of us that tons of these folks are eager and willing to do and believe whatever Donald Trump tells them to.
So that'll be there forever, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
That is a real tattoo?
Yes, sir.
That's cool.
Ultra extreme MAGA.
What is ultra extreme MAGA?
It means never leaving the house without a red MAGA hat. 8 years going. I change the hat every 2 months. I never leave the house without a MAGA hat.
Why?
Because he's an American hero and he's perfectly innocent. Guy's done nothing wrong. Nowadays, you're either an American or a Democrat, but there's no way to be both.
So, is that an important part of your identity?
This is America's identity. This is America's new identity, Ultra MAGA.
No, I mean for you personally, is it an important part of your identity?
For the last 8 years, since the boss came down the escalator, I knew he was the one. He's the only one that could save America.
What's also troubling about these interviews, as fun as it is to point out how the other side goes about their lives, is that so many people have gone too far down the MAGA rabbit hole and are now so detached from reality that it's tough to believe that you could change their minds, though, in my opinion, potentially.
I think he's the greatest thing that ever came down the pike, and I'd walk across hot coals for that man. So,
is there anything Donald Trump could do that would cause you not to support him?
No, nothing.
Murder, kill, rape?
No, none of that stuff. He's not capable of any of that stuff. He is.
Well, a judge said that he raped a woman.
I don't care what the judge said. That judge is nuttier than a fruitcake.
Anything Donald Trump could do that would cause you to say, I mean, if he was convicted in any of these cases, would you still vote for him?
I think I would. Yeah, I really do.
If he's convicted of perjury, if he's convicted of mishandling of classified documents by a jury of our peers, you would still vote for him?
I would. Why? I just have faith in him. I really do.
What about these allegations, though? Trump's in the middle of a trial that he overinflated asset values in order to get money from banks and insurance companies, and what he did was fraudulent.
It's called being in America.
He's not perfect. He's not perfect. He's a sinner, like all the rest of us. But then look to the Bible. With the exception of Jesus Christ, every great hero in the Bible is also a sinner and also imperfect. But I believe he's the perfect man for the job now.
Now, we've gone over this countless times before, but it is always worth repeating. At the end of the day, Trump supporters just want someone to entertain them and distract them from the miserable lives many Americans are living. As sad as it is, Trump gives these people hope by directing their anger and hatred away from the corrupt pay-to-play system that is American politics towards the typical targets of racial minorities, immigrants, the woke mob, the LGBTQ plus community, and or whatever hot-button issue is popular at a given time.
This is my 63rd rally, and I drove here from Point Pleasant, New Jersey. It's quite a distance, about 325 miles.
Why all of this passion for Donald Trump?
Well, two things. These rallies, this is the greatest show on earth, the Trump rally. I mean, Donald Trump is our first rock star superhero president. I mean, he's like the real life Tony Stark. They should call him President Iron Man. There's nothing like a Trump rally. I mean, it's amazingly entertaining. When Trump was president, the economy was doing pretty damn well, and I slept easy at night. We were at peace. Now, I'm close to retirement. I wanted to retire early. I'm 64. I can't because all the money. To keep ends met, I have had to like dip into my savings, and I've got a third less than I have now of the savings I had, and the dollar is worth less and less. I can't stop working now, and I think our country is in danger of dying. And I think that President Trump, as our 47th president, is our only hope to stay above water. And like I said, I don't believe there are some good Republicans out there, but he's the man.
What is just as troubling is that these people recognize that there's something seriously wrong with the country and how our system works, but right-wing messaging and policies work to uphold and protect the system by, once again, pushing blame onto whatever group will resonate best with their base.
They say we should revere that. They say we should revere that Capitol building. I don't. What that Capitol building is in D.C., it's the largest brothel in the world. With few exceptions, most of the representatives in there are and they're themselves out to communist China. They're out for their own profit, for their own money. They have no concern for America. It's personal wealth and power.
Could you also say that their sells out to corporations and all the lobbyists?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They should. Donald Trump came to town and couldn't believe it and saw them on their knees themselves out, and he started figuratively slapping them in the faces, telling them, get on your feet and act like Americans, for God's sake. And that's why they wanted to destroy him.
Donald Trump is very clearly planning to run the same playbook from last time. We are watching a slow motion insurrection. In these final weeks of the campaign, Trump and his allies are laying all the groundwork, getting ready to reject the free and fair result of this election if he does not win. That's plain as day.
Here we are, once again in the year 2024. Trump has not lost his base of followers who buy the same nonsense he sells.
If Donald Trump wins the 2024 election, will you trust the results?
Yes, I will.
If Kamala Harris wins the 2024 election, will you trust the results?
No. And I know that sounds like a double standard, but it's not.
Well, that is a double standard.
Well, it's not.
This is where we are. Proportions of the country cannot even acknowledge their own biases because they wish the United States was a monarchy controlled by their king.
And by the way, Kamala will not be your first female president. She will not be your first female president. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to have a socialist. Look.
Except, of course, when it benefits your own properties. This dude is the biggest welfare queen in the world.
What do you think's really going on in the country right now?
They're trying to push socialism through, unfortunately, and people are not informed.
And here they are carrying the water for him. I question if she is in touch with the socialist principles this man lives by while we all foot his bills.
Former President Donald Trump increased his extreme rhetoric, describing some American citizens as enemies.
I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within.
In a Fox News interview yesterday, Maria Bartiromo asked Trump whether or not Election Day would be peaceful.
We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military.
This must be rejected. We cannot allow this man to take power once more, and yet...
Do you feel like there's a problem with the political rhetoric in this country? A lot of Republicans are criticizing Democrats, saying to tone down the rhetoric. Do you think rhetoric is a problem in the country?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah. But I know if Kamala gets in, we're going to have World War III. So we definitely don't want her in.
And this is one of your top sellers here?
One of them, yes, sir.
And it says, Trump that bitch.
Yes. Yep.
The jokes write themselves.
I met the president in 1968 when my father was working for his father in Brooklyn, New York.
Did your father like his father? Was it a good relationship?
He worked at least 10, maybe 12 years on the Trump villages in both Brooklyn and Queens, New York. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. So that is the hero right now of our country.
You know, a lot of people accuse Trump of not paying bills in his construction company. You kind of have an inside track. Did he pay his bills? Did people like working with him?
Of course he did.
He always paid his bills?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Okay, because here in Erie, they've asked him for a $35,000 payment for the previous rally, which he has ignored. And they say he probably won't pay again.
Well, that's the way they're framing it.
I don't know. They sent him a bill for $35,000.
All right. He pays his bills. There was the best 10 to 12.
He got a bill for $35,129 that he refused to pay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
That's a good moment to head out then? Yes. Okay, great.
An obvious tell here, but this man supporting the former president should say this to Marty Rosenberg's face.
He promised if we did a good job, we would get paid. He says Trump owed him over $1 million, and he wasn't alone. Rosenberg says Trump didn't honor the contracts of over 100 contractors who helped complete the Taj Mahal.
The man didn't pay us because he didn't have the money, bottom line. I said, we want to get paid. He says, well, how can I stop this meeting? I said, it's relatively simple. Give me a check.
After several rounds of negotiations, Rosenberg says he and the other contractors settled with Trump for less than what they were owed, with devastating results.
Some went bankrupt, some lost their businesses.
And this is just one example of, unfortunately, many that we can provide. The man is pulling a con job on the American people, and his base could care less.
Donald Trump is now calling for a government shutdown over unsubstantiated claims of voter fraud. The former president said late last week that Republicans in Congress should shut down the government if Democrats don't agree to legislation barring non-citizens from voting, which we note again, that's already illegal. Trump continues to claim, without evidence, that many non-citizens voted in the past presidential election.
He's doing it again, and his followers continue eating it up.
Any final message you would leave for Donald Trump if you were watching this?
Just watch. They're going to steal the election, and they're going to try to set you again because the Democrats are behind it. Absolutely.
You're 100% sure of all that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's sure that the Democrats are behind. They've tried to stop him.
Will you trust the election if Trump wins?
Absolutely.
Will you trust the election if Kamala wins?
Nope.
There you have it.
Indeed. There you do. It is hypocritical, but they could care less. It's a saddening tale of just how easy it is to deceive a massive part of the electorate.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win.
To be clear, this is what a massive loser does. When they do not become victorious in a hard-fought race, they cry and whine and moan about everything, except how they just simply could not get a W. This should be rejected, not embraced. However,
he was up about 600,000 votes in Pennsylvania. I woke up, he was down 60,000. Something's wrong.
So what happened there was they had a law in Pennsylvania where they couldn't count the mail-in and absentee votes until Election Day. So they were counting them throughout the day. And that's why you saw the number change there.
I don't believe that. You have a right to say that, but I got a right to believe what I want to believe.
Right. But that is the fact of the matter. Like, they couldn't count them till that day.
Well, I'm hearing different facts. I'm hearing something totally different.
Okay.
So
what are you hearing?
I'm hearing that things don't change that drastically. I've been around since Barry Goldwater. Things don't happen that way.
But it was COVID, so more people were voting absentee.
A lot of people, doing absentee ballots.
And
semis,
early voting, things like that.
Semis of votes were coming in,
right,
and didn't look good.
Right.
And there was clear instances of cheating. Hate to use the word, but that's what I'm seeing.
They still fail to abandon ship and fall in line. Fun fact about this guy. He admitted to taking his 12-year-old son to the Capitol on January 6th.
I saw what happened. I watched that election, and I thought the election was over at 10 o'clock in the evening.
Of course he did, because he does not believe in anything but himself, even when facts negate his diabolical mind.
So you're in the family line from the Founding Fathers. That's an incredible thing.
My sister had it all documented and everything.
And do you think the Founding Fathers would have been disappointed in the failure of Trump to transfer power peacefully?
Oh, I don't think he should have had to transfer power at all. I think he won.
Well, but he lost in an election. That's one of the most important things in a democracy, is having an election and then admitting when you lose. Give me one reason you believe that.
Because I watched the votes at the end. The tallies just don't make sense. There was all kinds of they're showing hundreds of lines of different hacking from other countries that night. They're showing. I've seen a lot of reports. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
She doesn't know what to tell Davram Stiefler because there is nothing backing her point here. As always, The good liars are on the ground conversing with these folks who are still our fellow Americans and providing the insights we need to understand not just their talking points, but their mindset. For more updates, head to their website, sub to their YouTube channel, which is popping off, their Instagram, of course, TikTok page, which is also bumping, and please make a donation to their Patreon.
Oh, I was with Donald Trump in 1980. I was sitting with him on an airplane. And he went after me on the plane. Yeah, I'm going to go after. Believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
The president-elect Donald Trump joking about serious allegations of essay against him, which reminds us.
This election made me realize that white women vote like they ain't got vaginas. You realize that? Yeah. White women vote like they ain't got vaginas. This dude came out swinging from day one. Trump came out swinging from day one, just like, women suck. She's fat. She's not as hot as my daughter. Look at my daughter. She's hot as shit. I'd date my daughter. You know, women don't deserve to lead. They don't deserve rights. I'm gonna overturn Roe v. Wade, and white women were like, oh my God, what is he talking about? That's crazy. Like, some of them were listening, some of them caught on, but then the other 52% were just like, oh, I'm just gonna jump back into this bubble bath inside of a giant Stanley cup. You know? Like, it's crazy.
Comedian Jordan Fisher, like myself, just cannot comprehend how, like many in this country, vote against their own interests by supporting Donald Trump.
I have days where I think it's great, and then I have days where if I come home and, you know, I don't want to sound too much like a chauvinist, but when I come home and dinner's not ready, I go through the roof, okay?
Nobody has more respect for women than I do. Nobody.
This is who white women predominantly supported. It is an atrocious decision that Fisher describes how if the shoe was on the other foot, men wouldn't let it fly, most likely.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I just don't understand how you put being white above being a woman. You know? Yeah, right? It's great. Like take it back to 2008. Like, when Obama came out, right? If Obama came out running and he was like, my fellow Americans, we're gonna fix the housing crisis. I'm gonna make healthcare affordable for all. And I'm gonna chop off everybody's... Wait, what was that? I'm gonna have free healthcare to chop off everybody's... Well, I guess I'm Republican. Like, I'm black. I want to keep my... That was the best part about being black.
Awesome Obama impression aside, the fact still stands. This is what they voted for.
There are hundreds of millions of small businesses in the world. And one of the things I think is really important is basically making it so with a relatively small amount of work, a business can basically, a few taps, stand up an AI agent for themselves that can do customer support, sales, communicate with all their people, all their customers. I kind of think that every business in the future, just like they have an email address and a website and a social media presence today.
Remember the fear-mongering Republicans ran on and won with when they targeted the deepest fears of bigots in this country to say they're taking your jabs, when in reality, Zuckerberg laid it out and Fisher piggybacks off of it.
All these people were worried about, immigration and they're gonna come for our jobs. And the Mexicans are coming in for our jobs. No Mexican is going to Iowa, dude. They're not going that far up. They'll hang out in Texas. They're not going up there. You can still have your job at the factory putting on soles for boots or whatever the hell. Even the jobs that they're gonna take, you don't want them. You want to make those deliveries? You want to ride a bike at 3 a.m. in the morning, 32 degrees outside, right? For some sandwich. No, you want to be on the other side of that call. So you can argue with your girlfriend about what to watch on Netflix. Just settle on The Office again. The Mexicans aren't coming for the job. It's the robots. The robots are coming. It's not Juan. It's Juan 00101010.
Amen to that. What they are going to do in no time is shrink the workforce even more to drive up competition, thus they keep wages low, and ultimately utilize AI to drive a lot of folks out of the work sector. It is the embodiment of late-stage capitalism.
Mexicans aren't coming for the job. It's the robots. The robots are coming. It's not Juan. You know? It's Juan 001010.
Amen to that. What they are going to do in no time is shrink the workforce even more to drive up competition, thus they keep wages low, and ultimately utilize AI to drive a lot of folks out of the work sector. It is the embodiment of late-stage capitalism.
I disagree with the idea of unions, but perhaps for a reason that is different than people may expect, which is I just don't like anything which creates kind of a lords and peasants sort of thing. And I think the unions naturally try to create negativity in a company and create a kind of sort of lords and peasants situation.
Of course he hates unions. This apartheid-loving trust fund baby, emerald mine billionaire, has shown how being born a millimeter from home plate works.
This guy he got elected, and one of his best friends is an immigrant from South Africa that's making all the robots, right? I don't even know if Elon's a real person. You want to zip that zipper on the back of it? Twitter is now X. That's the only letter I understand. Making rockets. This dude should be Iron Man. He's Lex Luthor.
Fair point. His fascination with X is obviously just so incredibly weird.
Right now in America, we have over 22 million workers who are making less than $15 an hour, and nearly 40 million people in our country earning less than $17 an hour. Shamefully, the federal minimum wage, despite the efforts of myself and other people here, have not been raised since 2009 and remains an unbelievable $7.25 an hour. Will you work with those of us who want to raise the federal minimum wage to a living wage to take millions of Americans out of poverty?
Senator, I believe that the minimum wage is more of a statewide and regional issue.
So you don't think we should change the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour?
No, sir.
That was Trump's Treasury pick, by the way. In addition, this is what we could have had. And he could have won in 2 landslides. That was until the DNC decided to railroad the American people, as Fisher explains.
It's not just the Republicans, you know. It's a two-party issue. The Democrats up too. Right? You know, 2016, we could have had Bernie, right? Yeah, Bernie was, people were excited for Bernie. Nobody knew who Bernie Sanders was before that time. You know, he just came out of nowhere. Like, he came from the future or some shit. Like, he knew. Like, he just came out of some time portal, like, the 1% is coming for all of us! Stains on his shirt, looking like he just stuck a fork inside of an electrical socket. Spilling plutonium everywhere. They're gonna make healthcare affordable! Everybody's like, shut up, old man! Let's get this woman in a pantsuit out there. It's time for herstory. Right? Making up new words. Right? And that failed. You know? Hillary bed. Right? And then Bernie came back around and was like, I'm still here! Didn't pick up a comb for 4 years. I can still run, and they were like, no, you're too old. We're gonna pick this guy who's dead.
Jordan Fisher is a rising comedian in the industry who you should absolutely check out. Head to punchup.live/Jordan Fisher for tour updates, his Instagram for more content, and please throw him a follow while you're at it, plus short form on TikTok while you still have access to an app this country fears more than giving us free healthcare or protecting our kids from gun violence. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.